Here are the portages we've cut so far, 4 in total. This particular one we weren't able to do because of the storm, but planned to cut it on our way back. But now we were on our way to Russian Lake, trying to find a way through. On our way to Russian Lake, we passed through a seasonal camp used by the indigenous people of the area.
So we're back in the bush again after getting as rehydrated as much as possible. We're heading down to Russian Lake. We've been moving all the way up until that pond that we just came from. And it's a beautiful pond too, or like a little, I wouldn't even call it a lake, but it's super clear. I wonder if it's spring fed. But as you probably have already seen, there are trailers in there, probably coming off the logging route. But the thing is, now that we're going down to Russian, you might not be able to see here, but it drops right down. And so we're just trying to find a way to switch back down without going over the edge. And of course, it's like the terrain is like really rugged because there's obviously logging done here at some point. I think Steve's doing a good job.
That? Oh, he's got a... David?
Yep. Oh, there's a flagging tape.
Sorry, yeah, marker. Where?
Right here. It's all faded. Makes you wonder what the heck they were doing down here.
Yeah, but didn't that guy say that there was some sort of...
Well, not the way we're going.
No, maybe not. Yeah, I think he just looked at us like we're crazy people.
Yeah.
We knew we were getting close, as we had to wade through a wet, boggy section.
Looks like we are finally coming on to the shores of Russian Lake. It is friggin' hot. I guess you just want to look for a better landing.
I think it's
Yeah.
We finally made it, and what a relief it was, as we were super hot and dehydrated. We were all looking forward to a refreshing swim.
That's better.
Dun, 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 dun.
I wish I had a stick right now, dude.
There we go. 3 men in a tub.
Big tub. If I'm in a tub with a man, this is the size I want.
Needless to say, it felt amazing. While enjoying the swim, we had a small fish peck at our exposed skin, which was amusing. Thus we nicknamed this place Shark Point. That afternoon, we welcomed the cooling breeze that kept the bugs away and allowed us to enjoy supper and a fire without a shelter.
So this is day 3, and we're checking out the Russian Lake a little bit. We're just spinning around and checking it out. It's an absolutely gorgeous lake. It's got some cliffs, got some red pine forest like this one behind me. And we're gonna go down on the south side to check out the creek for just scouting for future reference, because that's the way we would be heading if we had gone down to Mazabazing Lake. So we're going to check that out and then check the other side, which would have been another creek that we would have come out of if we didn't take the route that we did yesterday. So doing a little bit of scouting, but at the same time enjoying a little bit of the beauty of Russian Lake. So we just got to the beginning of Alces Creek, and it's kind of blocked by a bunch of logs, and it looks like there might be a beaver dam right at the end where it narrows down. So obviously we wouldn't be able to paddle there. We would have to probably portage, but we're just gonna walk down over there. There's another pond just beyond the narrows, and then after that it goes back to a creek again. So we just want to see the viability of that. I don't think it's going to be much to paddle. If we do this route, we'll probably have to cut our way through. Looks like a sucker, actually.
What's that?
Looks like a... What do you guys like about? Do you guys like Alces Creek?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Can you vision yourself dragging a canoe through this? It's not actually that shallow. You could easily walk this canoe. Yeah. Sweet. Really pretty in here.
So it was obvious, due to all the rocks and logs, the next crew would have to cut a portage.
So we're just coming on to what looks like a man-made access to the river. You can see straight where those guys are heading. We're gonna go check it out. But this is where we would have normally come out through the creek if we had gone this way. But I don't really see a creek. Creek shows it to the left.
Then it was time to head back. On our way towards the portage out of Russian Lake, we saw a road access nearby and decided to portage it. We suspected it may lead to the campground.
Yep. The guys just saw the trailers up ahead, and this is indeed that lake. So we did all that for nothing, eh, Jim?
It's too hot and dry this way.
Yeah. We like the bog and the wet, right?
Yep.
There we go.
And back through the big green monster, which was so much easier now that the trail was cut. And of course there was the many bogs, but it just seemed so much easier knowing exactly where to go.
Over the tree was dry.
Yeah. Nice.
It's gonna get softer for each of you guys.
Best of all, no one did it better than Jim to earn the nickname Jim Bog.
Oh, right in it. He did it for the camera, buddy. Jim Bog. Here, buddy.
Grab an arm.
Here. Grab that one. Here. Give me other.
That's alright. Yeah, no, it's easier to crawl out.
You sure?
Yep.
Grab his bag.
Guys, I do this all the time.
You good?
Yep.
The
Hey!
stormtrooper. Yeah.
There's Jim Bog.
Jim Bog is our man.
Jim Bog.
Jim Bog.
Jim Bog, that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jim Bog. Jim Bog went right in the bog.
Yeah, Jim Bog.
But eventually, we made our way out of the bog to the second last portage. This was the one that still needed to be cut, so we first scouted a better way down and then cut a great trail to the small lake below. It always looks horrible going through the first time, but after we cleaned it up, we were pretty proud of what we did.
Hey David,
You.
let's make a path that way. It's the clearest.
Is it?
Yeah, funny.
We made it.
This was the last lake before Lower Ritchie. Our plan was to find and make camp here, but unfortunately there wasn't anything suitable, so we ended up back at the lodge where we met up with Corey and Dennis. Thus we ended the last night of the trip in a cabin together, dreaming of the next outing that would take us even further into this lost canoe route.